outside.
Yeah, and they always have a food truck, and that's to their credit. That's one of the things that they have kind of garnished as being the first, and maybe not production and marketing wise, but the biggest of the little guys outside of Warpling. They've got a name, and so they can get anybody to come up there. And there's a schedule of what food trucks will be there.
Oh, see, I thought it was the same one each time, or I thought it was their own, like an extension of them. That's it. Like I said, that was pretty cool to me. I had driven by earlier through the Oregon district, and it was a brother outside that had like an outdoor restaurant
just on the street
that he constructs on a weekly basis. And I was just like, he was out there like 5 o'clock getting set up, and looking at the menu of who was there that night, I just was like, they should have had my man. He had 4 or 5 grills, deep fryer, because I went in there hungry, and I thought they might have had food. So I'm just saying, if you haven't been there before, it's some things to consider.
Yeah.
But actually, I did get a pretty good quarter-pound hot dog. I won't comment on my other thing. It's, sometimes you go places and everybody has to start somewhere, and they just were out of something kind of early, an important ingredient. But hey, I kept it moving. But what's going on, man? I mean, earlier today you asked me if I wanted to meet. There was some Hop Slam, some Bell's Hop Slam.
Yeah,
it's flowing somewhere locally. We had a note of that.
Yeah. One of the,
and you can just tie that into your excursion on some of the breweries you went to this weekend, man.
Locally, so yeah, Hop Slam is. I don't want to say like the IPA of IPAs, because it's a great beer.
The Megatron,
right? Yeah, like it's a really good IPA. But and I'm not discrediting Bell's or anybody else that does this, because a lot of breweries do this. Like it's not by circular, it's not by happenstance that you can't just buy it whenever you want. That when it comes out, it's gone in an hour to 2 hours from most locations. Like,
so that's why I never see this on the shelves.
Correct.
Because I've only had it around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I believe the official release for this area is Tuesday, so we'll see it depending on which side of town you're on. North of town usually gets it beforehand, but Tuesday and Thursday are drop-off days most of the time. So if you're looking for it, just a lot of places have waiting lists or sign-up sheets, or first come first serve, like limit 2 or 1 6-pack, something like that. But there was a release party for it at Bunkers in Vandalia. That's a local spot here. They even were doing a keep the glass sort of thing, which was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, like I got a buddy and he lives, breathes, dies by that beer. Listen, I'm not knocking Hop Slam. Like, I want to make that clear. But when it first came out, it was kind of, in a sense, like the anti-IPA, because California style IPAs and West Coast IPAs are kind of taking over the market, which are a bit less abrasive. The hop profile is a lot lighter in that style, and Hop Slam was like, nah, we're just gonna put however many pounds, we're gonna dry hop, triple hop, all you should taste is hop when you drink this. And maybe that's for me the disconnect. Like, the market has kind of leveled itself out now. Like, that's not a crazy thing anymore,
right?
And so it's a great beer, and it deserves all of its accolades. Just for me personally, unless I happen to run into it in one of my excursions, I'm not chasing it this year.
No, that's interesting. like I said, I only had it with you, and I've looked for it before, and I'm like, well, damn, I guess let's bring everybody back. G is actually in the process. It's an ongoing effort, but he's actually part of a group of 3 who are trying to launch their own brewery, and they're working feverishly to get that going. So that's kind of his background into this. He's kind of the hoops and hops guy, craft beer and hoops guy. I'm just the talking head here.
Show host.
So what you did with so you had this excursion you mentioned earlier. We can get into that real quick before we jump into this entertainment.
Yeah, real quick. I went to Cincy area. I had been wanting to go to Blank Slate Brewery for a long time. I actually tried to go about a month ago and didn't. We've had this conversation. I don't know if it's been on air before, but I have a Facebook. I just don't use it regularly.
Yeah, you don't.
So I didn't know that they had shut themselves down for like a small remodel / build up surplus of certain brews. Like they were just brewing, so you couldn't actually go into the tap room. And so I missed them. But I managed to get out there and had a bunch of great stuff.
Blank Slate.
A lot of good stuff. They've got an Opera Cream coffee stout, which was delicious. Just Blank Slate to me. They make the type of beers that me and my circle want, like beers that are not stale, like that aren't stale is maybe not the right word, but they break from tradition.
Okay.
All right. And so but I went there and then crossed over the bridge to go to Braxton Brewing right as soon as you pop into Kentucky, who have kind of a highly, I guess it's not long enough to be acclaimed, but there's a lot of buzz around this coffee stout that they've got. So I went in there to get that a shot and was happy and pleasantly surprised. And they got a real nice setup in there too. You could bring your dog. Saw lots of dogs in there. I might take Bars one day. Barley, the brew dog, might come with me next time I go. But it was a good little trip, man.
Okay, I think that's part of one thing that I'm really liking about this community. And actually, it's a wine company a local wine company, a wine maker. I don't know what the official term is, but to your point earlier, he's up in Arcanum, I think, an area I've never been into, but it's outside of maybe 45-50 minutes outside of Dayton, Ohio. But I won't mention the name right now, but I know through another contact, I've been in talks to bring this wine, a small winery on, and I've actually followed him on Facebook, and I've watched him, like you said, with food. He doesn't do food either, but they have started doing like chips. You can bring your own food. He started having like open mics. People can play music and sing and whatnot. I really need to get back on it and talk with him. It's just like I told you last year when B Meeks passed away and things were kind of up in the air. I just really didn't know what I was doing, so I haven't reached out to him. He doesn't listen to the show, but I just wanted to bring him in and talk about that, because we do the beer thing. I just wanted to talk about the wine game as well. So and then, like I said, that to support what you said earlier. He's trying to get people in, and I just respect, like you said, that regional, local feel. And like you said, with this Braxton, you can do things differently. You can make decisions how you want to, and I appreciate that about the craft beer community. So I don't know. I might not be able to get into any of this Hop Slam this year unless I keep close to you.
I mean, I'm sure that between me and my cohorts, we'll end up with some of it. So I might
have to go. I can go to like Belmont, maybe, or
they'll have it. You're gonna have to get there. Like they do early releases there. Generally,
I'm okay. Well, I'm out of the game. I'm out of the game on that one. Man.
Honestly, best bet is to. I think our local gets it on Tuesday. I think. Don't completely quote me on that. Call up. But that's probably the best option there. And then I actually do have a connection at the Miller Lane spot.
That's what I was going to ask about the beer, liquor, wine house. Warehouse. Sorry,
I don't know exactly how Andrew's doing it for this particular one, but it is very possible.
Andrew's supposed to be coming on the show as well.
Yeah.
I've dragged my feet on that as well. And I don't want to stay on this much longer. I just want to say, hey, for any, because I know when G gets involved and does some promotion, I see a lot of traffic from the Dayton area, listen wise and the sources for people that are press and play. And believe me, I thank you every time that anybody takes out 10 or 15 minutes, an hour, or whatever you give me. I appreciate you press and play. But in 2016, let's take this to the next level and holler at us. Let us know some things. What would you like to talk about? Tell me some beer stories. You can, find us on Twitter at PMNM Haven on Twitter. I got a Facebook page set up for Pay Me No Mind. You can holler at me on Twitter at E_pluribus PLURIBUS_wood, and then you can get at Greg on Twitter at Greg Raps. That's RAPS. Holler at us and let us know some thoughts. I mean, we like to maybe get some emails. You can email the show, paymenomindShow@gmail.com. That's paymenomindShow@gmail.com. We really like to have some more interaction. I might even start working on getting some phone calls set up, or the capability to handle some phone calls. In 2016, let's get to know one another and, not just see some people that tune in for a show. Let's take it to the next level. And, I like to be out somewhere and meet some beer aficionados or enthusiasts, and take it to a different level. So that's all the ways to get in touch with me. Like I said, Facebook is a great one. Like I said, Pay Me No Mind Show. There is a Facebook page out there. Moving on. We're running a little late as usual, but let's hit this entertainment up, man. We're getting ready to get into the NBA in a minute. This probably should be the last topic of the entertainment, but I just saw that Sting is actually going to be performing at halftime of the NBA All-Star Game. Somehow the Cirque du Soleil will be incorporated into that, and with the All-Star Game festivities being held in Toronto this year, I just thought the obvious choice would be for Champagne Papi Drizzy to be involved. He's a man, and I mention this because I know years ago Dipset Cam had a real big buzz, and he was disappointed. He had a good song out at the time and couldn't get into the NBA didn't reach out to him, and the game may have even been in New York City or something, but he was just disappointed. But I guess he might have had a criminal record, and the NBA was it has some restrictions on who they can get for the talent. But I'm just saying, Aubrey, he's got a clean record. He's the mayor of Toronto as far as we know. How did Sting get that gig instead of Drake?
Okay, so I had no idea. I hadn't heard about this at all until you said something right beforehand. And was even shocked and confused enough to think that you were talking about the wrestler Sting. Like Cirque du Soleil, Sting with face paint like the wrestler. It is odd that they did not pick Drake, but I'll be honest with you. To me, I don't know that Drake's a real. Is he a Toronto fan? Is he the mayor of Toronto? This dude be wearing everybody's jersey, be showing up at everybody's game. Like there is documented. Somebody has taken the time to go out and make videos of all because if you're winning, he wants to be there. Like,
when
nobody
a front runner.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Toronto